So last quarter, as stated here, you were tasked to describe the elements of poetry, fiction, and drama, and identify which of these elements are useful in reading and writing creative nonfiction. Okay, so we're done with poetry and creative nonfiction. Okay, and based on my lecture last quarter, what is the shared quality between poetry and creative nonfiction? Anyone from the class? Again, what is the shared quality between poetry and creative nonfiction? Yes, Rosh?
Ma'am, concrete and evocative details po.
Okay, very good. It's the use of concrete and evocative details. The performance task that I ask of you in application of this element into your creative nonfiction text is a reflection or a reflective essay. I am done with almost everyone's papers. Kalahati na lang sa Psalms. My concern was you focused more on the narrative and you forgot to give more emphasis on the reflection side. Kaya medyo mabababa ang scores ninyo. But anyway, I can see that you are ready with the other form of creative nonfiction, which is a narrative. Ready na kayo doon. It's just that you have to practice more on giving out insights and realizations with regard to the experiences that you've had. You fail to answer the question after the prompt or after the given scenario, giving less focus on the reflective side, which is not good when it comes to, the scoring of the content. So anyway, so between poetry and creative nonfiction, you will be borrowing imagery and symbolism, and to be able to show that into your write-up, you have to make use of idioms and figures of speech. Remember that the easiest way to paint with words is through the use of figures of speech. Do we have problems with concrete and evocative detail? We'll now move on to the second genre that we will be comparing with creative nonfiction, and that is fiction. Let us define what fiction is. Will you please read this? May I ask someone to read the definition of fiction? Nakikita ko si Mark Adrian. Mark Adrian, pakibasa. Kindly read the definition of fiction.
A fiction is a deliberately fabricated account of something. It can also be a literary work based on imagination rather than a fact, like a novel or short story.
Okay, so focus on deliberately fabricated account. Okay, what do you mean by fabricated? Fabricated account. Na-discuss na natin to, Ezra, Psalms, and Zephaniah. When you say deliberately fabricated account, what do you mean by this? Ano yung fabricated? Is it based on real life? Is it based on reality? Is it based on truth?
No
Parang
po.
wala akong kausap.
No po.
Okay, so pag sinabing fabricated, what do you mean by that?
Gawa-gawa lang po.
Gawa-gawa lamang. Who am I talking to?
Invented na. Wendy po.
Okay, Wendy, good. So, when you say deliberately fabricated, invented, gawa-gawa lamang. Kaya nga it's fiction eh. Remember, fiction is a product. It's a story that is a product of one's imagination. Okay, so the genres that fall under this would be short story, novel, flash fiction, and so many other um 21st century literature genres that fall under this category. Gawa-gawa lang siya. From the plot, the characters, even the conflict. But there are times that the given conflict, it's actually based on what you can see around you. But it doesn't mean to say that that happened to the person that you chose as your character. Meaning, yung pinili mong character, the character does not really exist. But the conflict that you gave to your characters can happen in real life. Pwedeng mangyari sa totoong buhay yung mga fictional stories, despite the fact that they're only products of your imagination. Now, since our goal is to make non-fiction stories read like fiction, you have to use the elements of fiction. Or having said this, now you know that what we need to borrow from fiction, okay, to be able to apply in our creative nonfiction text is of course the elements. Ano daw ang hihiramin natin ngayon sa fiction? That would be the element. Kasi nga gusto nating maging parang nagbabasa lang ng maikling kwento yung mga readers natin. So what comes in between fiction and creative nonfiction? What do they share in common? It's actually the use of the different elements. Okay, now what are these elements? These elements of fiction were actually discussed last semester. We started with setting, then we have characters, plot, point of view, theme, tone, and atmosphere. These are the basic elements. Now, it is also possible that you include some optional themes or elements like symbol and irony. I don't have to go into details because, like what I said, these elements were already discussed last semester. Now, with regard to the plot, based on the activity that I gave last week, that was Thursday when I was sick, I did not ask you to identify the different parts of the plot. But instead, I only asked you to focus on the conflict. Naalala nyo? I asked you to give the setting, the characters, the point of view, and then the conflict. Diba pinagawa ko sa inyo last Thursday? I grouped you
Yes.
into four. Okay.
Yes,
I grouped you into four. And then, based on the shared experience that you wrote in your narrative, you were tasked to identify your setting, your characters, your point of view, and then your conflict. Natapos nyo ba yon last Thursday?
Yes po.
Okay, good. So, titingnan ko yan. Try kong dumaan sa school later. Did I ask you also to identify the theme?
No, ma'am.
So, I only asked you to identify 4 elements.
Yes po.
Who am I talking to?
Wendy po.
Okay. Thank you, Wendy, for responding. So I hope everybody did their work last Thursday. Aside from the fact that that would the score in that particular activity would fall under performance task, that would also serve as your attendance. Do we have problems with elements? Kasi you should know what a setting is. Setting, when, and the where. Characters, these are the tauhan. Of course, the plot, it's the backbone of the story. It's actually the skeletal framework, rather, of the story. We have the exposition, we have the writing action where we can find the conflict, and then the climax, and then we also have the falling action, and then the resolution. Point of view, it can be first person, it can be third person, and then the theme, it's the overlying concept or idea of your story. Now, for the tone and the atmosphere, it has something to do with your emotion while you are writing the story and the emotion that you imparted to the reader. So that would be the atmosphere. Sana hindi ako nagkabaliktaran. It has something to do with the emotion that can be felt by your readers as they read your story. Mga ano na lang yan mga kumbaga additional elements. The key elements here, or the key elements of fiction that you really need, are the first 5 in the screen. Now let us have textual analysis approach of a certain short story. I'll give you a short story. I asked you to read this last week. Okay. It's a short story, therefore it's a product of one's imagination. Isa siyang maikling kwento. Hindi siya base sa totoong buhay. Now, this is just an example that a certain story really composed, or a certain story is really, it actually composes the different elements that I gave you. Just to show you an example ha. Ngayon, hindi kayo gagawa ng maikling kwento para sa mga nalilito. Ang gagawin ninyo ay ang pagkukwento ng mga karanasan ninyo. And when you tell me your stories, you have to make sure that the elements that we can find in a fictional story can also be found in your narrative. Can you follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
we start with Death into Manhood. I hope you already read this kasi isi-simplify na lang natin. So, alamin natin, ano ang setting, sino ang characters, ano ang conflict, ano ang point of view, at ano ang tema ng Death into Manhood written by Jose Garcia Villa. Malalaman natin ngayon na yung ginagawa natin sa maikling kwento ay pwede rin natin gawin sa pagkukwento ng ating mga karanasan. We start with characters. Okay. Who can tell me the major characters in Death into Manhood? Yes, Rosh.
Ma'am, si Tona and Berto po.
Okay, so we have Tona and Berto. Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
Wala na si Mark. Kasi I recorded this. Is there anything here that shows that I'm recording? Okay, nagre-record. Okay, next one. I only have 10 minutes. I still have 10 minutes now. I'm gonna have to send another link to you guys, Okay? Para diretso yung discussion natin. And then we have the minor characters. Mamadaliin ko na. Aside from Tona and Berto, we have Doro, we have Tona's mother, and then we have Aling Pipa. Okay. So, in your kwento or in your experiences, syempre meron din kang major and minor characters. Right? Remember your journals? Gumawa kayo ng mga journals ninyo. Ilang journals lahat yon sa inyong immersion? You have 10 journals. Good for 10 days. Actually, I started reading journals. Okay? Bawat araw may nangyayari sa buhay ninyo. Okay? Sino ang pinaka-major character nyo doon? Let's have an example. Okay. Sino major character nyo doon sa journal ninyo? Kunwari sa day 1. Siyempre, kayo yung isa doon. Sino sa palagay nyo pa ang isang major character doon?
The supervisor, ma'am.
Okay, pwede yung supervisor ninyo o yung teacher supervisor ninyo. Sinong papalo na minor character doon?
Students, ma'am.
Okay, pwede. Those who were deployed internally, meaning in the junior high school, we can consider your students as your minor characters because they are not constant in the story. Padaan-daan lang sila. But the ones that are always present in the story would be you, your supervising teacher, probably your friend also who is with you. Ganun lang yon. So possible, di ba? Having characters in one's narrative is possible. So talagang it's actually a shared element between creative nonfiction and fiction. Next one, let's move on to the setting. What is the setting of this short story? Mabilisan na lang. When you say setting, we are pertaining to the time and the place as to when and where the story happened. Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer. The place was not specified, but we can assume that it happened in a rural area or a countryside. Meaning, in layman's term, ano ibig sabihin natin doon? Ito ay nangyari sa?
Probinsya po.
Okay, province or sa baryo, to be very specific. What are the indications? What are the indicative remarks that this story happened in a rural area? Pag sinabing countryside, yung baryo, yung malayo, far-flung area in a province. Nagwawash ng clothes, pig, carpenter, and then, of course, batalan. Now, in your journal, those who were deployed externally, what can serve as your setting? Particularly the where. Give an example.
LGU ba yung baw?
Okay, LGU, but that's not specific kasi malaking LGU. Saan doon?
Vice Mayor's office po.
Okay, the Vice Mayor's office. So, point of view, of course, made use of the third person. Question, if you are to make a narrative, will you use a third person point of view in creative nonfiction? Will you use third person? Oh, what? Will you use a third person point of view if you are to make a narrative? Oh, go back to your journal. Did you use third person point of view?
No, ma'am.
Oh, ma'am.
Oh, definitely. It's gonna be first person. Kasi experience nyo yan eh. Diba? Ba't pahihirapan nyo pa ang sarili ninyo? But, that's the big difference between a fictional story and a creative nonfiction story. For a fictional story, there is the possibility of using a third person and a first person point of view. But when you are tasked to write your narrative, okay, a narrative, a story per se of your own experience, you have to make use of the first person point of view. So again, it's another shared element between creative nonfiction and fiction. Okay, here is the example as to why this story is a third-person point of view story. The mention of the names of the characters. Okay, and then the use of his, she. These are third-person pronouns. Now, let's move on to the conflict. Conflict can be found in the rising action. Ang daming conflicts doon. So, if you get to tell me that there is only one conflict, then you are wrong. Pwedeng madami ang conflict sa isang kwento. Okay, it can be in this story, it can be man versus himself, and it can also be man versus man. Okay, kailan papasok yung man versus himself? Tingnan natin. Okay, may I ask someone to read this excerpt? Pakibasa nga, please. Oh, dali na, para matapos na tayo. Basa, Charmaine.
Tona told her mother that night that she was going to marry Doro. We love each other. Dora and I are going to get married. Dora and I are going to get married, Inay, Tona said. Tona's mother cried sentimentally. It comes in everyone's life. Tona comforted her.
Okay, that's one. Next, teka lang ha, basahin mo natin isa-isa before we identify the conflict. Next, anyone? Okay. Anyone who would like to read the story, just read the story, or the excerpt rather. Can you read the excerpt, Charmaine?
But they never saw Doro again. Tona tried hard not to cry, but it was useless. Then she told her mother why she had to marry Doro, and her mother beat her.
Okay, next.
Sometimes, when Bertha was away, Tona cried. Her body ached with work. In the Philippines, labor is cruelly cheap. Working people can earn very little.
Okay, last one. Medyo mahaba. Sige na, diretso mo na.
Tona said, You should not come home late. But I am a boy, Bertha said. You are going out with someone, Tona guessed. I'm taking Maria to the show, Bertha said. You're going out with a girl? Yes, Bertha said. His mother looked at him steadfastly and Bertha became uneasy. Bertha began to explain. Bertha talked about Maria. Bertha said lovely things about Maria. Bertha said they wanted to be together. I got to go now. Maria is waiting for me. You better go. As Bertha descended the bamboo stairs,
Cheers.
look Ma'am, di ko
apprehensively,
masyadong makita. At her
okay,
stand. Tona fought to grasp
fought hard.
the city, but fought
Okay, I'll
hard to grasp.
continue. Okay. Okay. Di na nabasa. There he went, Berto, big, tall, young, going out to see a girl. Berto is a man. Berto is a man. Berto is a man. She grew suddenly afraid of Berto, suddenly apart from him. A cruel tumult was unleashed in her. Okay, let us go back to the first excerpt. What kind of conflict is this? Anyone? It was
Man
that
versus
night
man.
when it's man versus,
Man.
basahin niyo
Versus
mabuti. Sinong kalaban niya dito? May
Ma'am
kalaban
herself.
dito?
Man versus himself po.
Exactly, kasi ang kalaban niya dito. Pero sino ang may kalaban sa sarili niya?
Yung
Was it
mother niya
Tona?
po.
It's actually
Your
the
mother
mother.
po.
Who am I talking to?
Wendy po.
Okay, Wendy. Good. Okay. Ang man versus himself dito is actually the mother. Look at the second line. Tona's mother cried
Cried
sentimentally. Right? And she couldn't
Yes.
argue with Tona. Probably because she did that also when she was young. She understood, okay, what was going on with Tona. Okay, let's move on to the second excerpt. What kind of conflict is this?
Man versus man.
Very good. Kitang-kita naman, no? Her mother beat her. Kasi ano nangyari kay Doro?
Wala na po siya pero pregnant si Tona.
Okay. Next. Oh,
Man versus himself.
because
Tona is against her emotions pa.
number 3 na tayo. Is it about, okay, emotions? Because of what?
Man versus society, ma'am.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, pero balik muna tayo sa man versus himself. Aside from the emotion, it's actually the physical. It's a physical self. Okay? The physical self is the one that actually hurts the emotion because Donna had to do everything by herself. Because, Doro left her, right? And she had a son to raise. Now, let's go back to man versus society. Who am I talking to with man versus society? Sino yung nagsabi nun?
Si yan po.
Okay, why? Why society? Actually, you have a point. Okay, anyone who wants to help? There's a guy who said that it can be a man versus society kind of conflict.
Ma'am, baka po dun sa part na in the Philippines, labor is cruelly cheap po.
Exactly. Okay. So, no matter how hard your work is, you get to be paid a little. So, that's also possible. Good one. Okay, next excerpt. What kind of conflict is this?
Man versus man.
Again, Leia.
Man versus man.
Man versus man. Which part?
Yung nag-uusap po si Tona tapos si Berto.
But there's no conflict there.
Man versus himself po.
Because,
Sa lower part po, Tona convinces herself that Berto is a man.
saan ka na, Bea? Okay. Why? Why did she feel that way? What makes it a man versus himself conflict? What do those lines tell you? Tingnan niyo yung mga style, ha? Kasi baka meron kayong pwedeng ma-adapt dito. When you are going to write your own narrative. Or when you're going to present your own experiences. Actually, you are correct. Wendy ko bang kumakausap sa akin?
Yes po.
Okay. Yes, it is man versus himself because, she couldn't argue with Berto. But inside of her, she wanted to stop him. Look at the last line. A cruel tumult was unleashed in her. So merong nangyayari within her. She wanted to stop her son. But she couldn't do it because, Berto was so in love. And she felt that way before. So actually, she understands, right? So, these are the different conflicts here. Tingnan naman natin yung tone and atmosphere. Okay. It can be serious, disturbing, or alarming, and especially at this point in time. Kasi ngayon, hindi na paagahan ng pag-aasawa eh. What is the trend now? Kids nowadays, what do? They're focused on their what? Pag-aasawa ba?
Hindi po,
Ayun.
ma'am. I think,
Yeah. Sige, go on.
ma'am, I think po, kids po nowadays, mas nag-focus po sila sa social media po. Ganun po.
Okay. And not only that, career. Di ba?
Yes.
Late na nag-aasawa ang mga bata ngayon. Even the ones in the barrio, madalang na yung maagang nag-aasawa. Okay, of course, the theme is early marriage or young love. Okay, doon na natin itong daanan. Or let's revisit everything in reverse. Kasi, with this, gagawa na kayo ng sarili niyong kwento. Okay, but I will be showing you some samples of narratives that were written by my previous students. So, ganun lang ang kwento, no? Ganun lang ang fiction, a fictional story. It bears the different elements. Minsan may irony, minsan may symbolism, minsan wala. Okay, it's just a simple way, of telling a story. Minsan napaka-detalyado, minsan hindi masyadong detalyado. Minsan mahirap maintindihan, minsan madaling maintindihan. So, ang importante doon, these stories were able to use the different elements. Okay, now, how will you be applying all this, into your narrative, into your stories as you present your different experiences? So let us revisit everything in reverse. So what will you do? First is you have to think of a significant personal experience. Kaya nga bumabalik ako lagi dun sa immersion ninyo eh. But aside from the immersion experience, there are other experiences that you can, utilize when you present your narrative. So that personal experience will become your plot. Significant So dapat may conflict. Kahit paano, kahit simple lang. Sabi ko nga sa ibang sections ko dati, Proverbs. Okay. When your teacher gives you a project, that is already an example of a conflict. Because that rises the action. Understood? If it disturbs the flow of your normalcy, of your routine, then that is already the start of the rising action. Nakuha nyo? Nakuha nyo?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Remember the plot diagram. It starts from a straight line. And then, once a problem starts, the line starts to what? It starts to go higher. And higher. And higher. Okay. Nagbigay ng grouping si research teacher. Kasi gagawa kayo ng research. That is already a rising action. Can you follow? Nagkaroon kayo ng groupings, ayaw yung mga group mo. That is another conflict in the narrative or in your story. Hanggang sa pataas na kayo ng pataas, ang actions niyo, padami na ng padami ang problema, to the point na nag-aaway-away na kayo because of your group work. That is already the climax. Actually, I read one sample of that. Nag-aantay daw siya ng mga RRL. Naiinis na siya. Okay? So, parang climactic na sa akin yun eh. Hanggang sa di na siya nakaantay yata. At siya na ang gumawa. That's a simple conflict. So, it doesn't mean to say that if there's a conflict, there's already what? Patayan, bugbugan. No. Okay. Sa narrative, simple lang ang plot experience niyo or yung conflict niyo. And then, what is the next step? Identify. Kindly read. May I ask someone to read number 2? Yes, Rosh.
Identify the people involved in your story. They are your characters. Others serve as your major characters, while some will be the supporting ones.
Okay, I already discussed that before. Kanina, discuss ko na yan while we were discussing Death into Manhood. So after your plot, after your personal experience, significant personal experience, you need to identify the people involved in your story. Next one. What's the next step? Kindly read. Okay, yes, Charmaine.
When and where did your experience take place? This will comprise your setting.
Okay, next one. Yes, Senya.
Tell your own story. This is your point of view.
Okay, next. Oh, sorry. Number 5. Yes, Jack.
What is the overlying idea of your experience that serve as your theme?
Correct. Next. Yes, Cyril.
Is there irony and symbolism in your story? You are the only person who can answer that question legitimately.
Okay, next one. Hi, Mark Adrian. Sana all kumakain. Yes, Senya.
What is the good title of your story? It will be you who will give the rationale behind it. Others will just have a rely on their own perception.
Correct. Okay, let me explain that. You will give the title of your story. Okay, kanya-kanya interpretasyon yan. Like for example, itong Death into Manhood. I ask you guys, why do you think the story is entitled Death into Manhood? Person who can really answer that question is who? It's actually the author.
The author, ma'am.
The reasons that we gave a while back will be our perception as to why that story was entitled Death into Manhood. Those answers now were only dependent on our perception. But the one who can give the correct answer to that question will be the author per se. So pag gumawa ka ng narrative mo, ikaw lang ang makakasabi ng reason, ng magandang rason, bakit ganun ang title ng kwento mo. Okay. Now let us have personal narrative or samples of personal narrative. Personal narrative being one of the forms of creative nonfiction. So nakakailang creative nonfiction form na tayo? Dalawa. The first one is a reflective essay where we utilized concrete and evocative details to be very specific idioms and figures of speech. The second form would be the personal narrative. Okay, from the word narrative, narrate, personal. Okay, what is personal narrative? Can you read the definition of personal narrative, Rosh?
A personal narrative shares some aspects of the traditional structure of fiction, such as setting, characters, plot, theme, and point of view.
Okay, correct. Next, Cyril.
The personal narrative often concern a particularly happy, sad, humorous, or outrageous episode in one's life.
Okay, good. So let's go back to the first definition. It shares some aspects of the traditional structure of fiction, like the ones that we discussed a while back. So the common denominator or the shared element or strategy or technique between fiction and creative nonfiction would be the elements. And these elements are already stated in the definition. The setting, the characters, plot, theme, and point of view. This is a personal narrative. Personal. Sarili mong personal narrative is it speaks of your own
Opinion.
Experiences.
sarili mong mga karanasan. Kaya nga yung pinagawa ko sa inyo nung Thursday, it's actually a shared experience with the class. Yun ang pinagawa ko sa inyo. And definitely, you have a lot of that. Meron kayong mga shared experiences. Okay, now, here is an example. Actually, this example is already written in your manual or in your handout. Napaka-simple lang. Napaka-simplified lang niya. Sunday. May I ask someone to read this? Napaka-simple lang. Ganito lang hahanapin ko sa inyo. Simplified conflict, simplified story. Anyone who wants to read the narrative? Yes, Rosh?
Sunday. It was nearly 8 o'clock in the morning when I woke up. My 1-year-old cousin, Ezekiel, was yelling, as he saw the food my younger sister bought from the roadside. I got up from my bed lazily, for I was still sleepy. I could see my younger sister effortlessly gave our cousin the food. Ezekiel eagerly took a bite, not knowing it was still hot. He quickly withdrew from his mouth the food, shocked, saying, "Nit, nit." I chuckled teasingly. My younger sister, in turn, tried to cool down the food by blowing into it, and then gave it again to our cousin. We burst into laughter when our cousin, with widely opened eyes, gritted his teeth, tearing the food into pieces like a hungry lion.
Okay, good. Let's identify the element used in this narrative. Let us acknowledge the author. It's Carl Jason Centeno. Title is A Moment with My Cousin. Give me the setting of the story. The when? It's very obvious.
8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning, what day? We only have 10 minutes, so you have to,
Sunday.
you have to rush.
Sunday.
Today, it was
Okay, it
nearly
was Sunday. Let us assume the place as to where the story happened.
Sa
The
bahay po.
place.
house.
House.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to the characters. Who are the characters? First,
Ezekiel.
okay, next,
Ezekiel, younger sister.
younger sister.
Cousins.
Okay, of course, the narrator.
And his cousin.
Meron pa?
His cousin, mom.
Okay, the cousin. Okay, next, let us have the conflict. Conflict people.
Ma'am, yung mainit pong pagkain.
So that would be, napasa yung dila niya eh. So that would be man versus,
Himself.
Self.
okay, himself. Pero pwede ring man versus, sino ba nagbigay?
Younger sister.
Man versus man.
Okay, so man versus man and man versus
Himself.
himself. Okay, pansin nyo how simplified the elements are? Simple lang ang elements dito. As I've said, this is based on real life. Okay, resolution tayo. Makikita mo yung falling action. What is the falling action here?
The younger sister tried to cool down the food by blowing into it.
Okay, good. And then the rest of the sentences would lead to the resolution of the story. Okay, point of view.
First.
Okay, first
Third.
person, we have the personal pronouns, I, my, which reminded me, mga anak, personal pronoun I should be written in capital letter. Okay? Tandaan niyo yan pagka susulat kayo. Have I forgotten something? Now for, wag na siguro sa team kasi simplified naman siya. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The title is Deceived by Vilma Mendoza. Kindly read the narrative. Pag gagawa kayo ng narrative, ganito lang kaikli Okay, please read the narrative. Volunteer. Okay, sige, go. Shermaine.
Tugdug, tugdug. My heart can't explain the feeling of excitement as my eyes were sewn and captivated to an ice cream container placed at the top of our dining table. My mouth gaped as I clearly saw my favorite flavor, cookies and cream, engraved on it. I gasped as I imagined how my mouth savored the taste of vanilla ice cream with chocolate cookies bits. My hands failed to wait any longer as they slowly opened what my stomach was craving for. Gently, I pulled up its lid, and an awful smell of dried fish escaped from it. I let out a deep sigh. Without any second thought, I hurriedly closed the container, feeling so disappointed.
Okay. Setting. People, setting. The where. The
House.
place.
House.
Place.
House.
Bakit? Bakit house?
Dining table po.
Okay, the presence of the following words. Dining table, what else? Meron pa ba? Siyempre,
Yun
ice cream
lang po, ma'am.
container. Okay. Next. We cannot assume the when part, and it could be any other day and any ordinary day. Next, character.
The author
Just
herself.
the narrator. Yes. Okay, let's move on to the conflict. Simplified. May conflict yan. It's what?
Man versus himself po.
An
Bakit?
opus melody.
Bakit man versus himself? Because she assumed. Can you follow? She saw the ice cream container and then she assumed that there's ice cream in it. Can you follow? But actually, it's not an ice cream. What was inside?
Dried fish.
Dried fish. Okay. So,
Dried
nagkaroon ng
fish.
disappointment. Nagkaroon ng disappointment because of too much expectations. Ganun lang kasimple. Okay. What point of view is used in the story? Or in the narrative?
First person.
First person, yes. Your narrative makes it more intimate if you use the first person point of view. Okay? Basta ayusin nyo yung choice of words ninyo, ayusin nyo yung sentence construction ninyo, and you will get a good score. But for the reflective essay, mababa talaga yung yung scores ninyo doon. I already totaled for the proverbs. I totaled your attendance already. The rest, they already submitted their total number of days. Tingnan nyo na lang ang grades ninyo sa sa Monday. Maybe baka ma-announce ko. Sa Monday ba MWF tayo or TTH? TTH tayo next week, ano? Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
I will be giving your grade by Monday. Ask nyo na lang. Ask nyo na lang sa advisors ninyo. Yung grades ninyo. Ay, nako. Okay, anyway. Basta focus kung ano yung papagawa ko sa inyo para tumaas ang scores ninyo. Do you still have another one here? Okay na siguro to. Please read more examples doon sa handouts ninyo. And then I sent something to the mayor. Mayor, did you send the YouTube material to your classmates?
Yes po.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna stop it from here. Hindi lang sa hindi lang tayo magpo-focus sa immersion ninyo. Magbibigay ako ng mga iba't ibang prompts. Pag kung ano ang napunta sa inyo, yun ang i-develop ninyo sa personal narrative ninyo. Understood? Ang importante doon is that you know how to use the different elements of fiction in presenting your personal narrative. Are there questions? I'll be sending the Google form before we end.